Welcome to the channel Biblical Truth You Have Never Heard. It is the purpose of the channel to introduce you to truths you most likely never knew about the Bible. This video is a continuation of truths found in the book of Matthew that you likely have never heard. The previous video covered Matthew 1 and the genealogy and birth of Jesus. This video will cover chapter 2 and what might be called the anti-passover. If you are familiar with the story of the Exodus, you will remember that, for God to cause the Egyptian Pharaoh to release the Israelites from slavery, he causes all the firstborn of Egypt to die in a single night called Passover, or Pesach in Hebrew. In Matthew chapter 2, we find the reverse of this event when Herod the Great, the governor of Israel under rule of the Roman Empire, comes to find through the Magi that the prophecy of Christ's Messiah has taken place and orders the death of all boys under the age of 2. I hope you watch to the end to find several truths you likely have never heard. Reading the story of the coming of Christ in Matthew, the condition of Israel at the time is concerning. The so-called king has little to no knowledge of the prophecies in the Hebrew scriptures and has to assemble the priests and the scribes to learn of the location where Christ would be born. And even the Magi, astrologers and sorcerers from what would be known today as a New Age religion, recognized the coming of the King Jesus. They traveled a long distance to worship the newborn king, while the rest of Jerusalem was as disturbed as Herod at the news. The Bible does not say why, but likely it is because Herod's position and job would be threatened, and the religion of Judaism, which has been developed since the Babylonian captivity, would end if the true Messiah were to come. To alleviate these issues, Herod and likely others with him schemed to order the death of all boys in the vicinity of Bethlehem in the period of the time the Magi had seen the star of Bethlehem rising. In an amazing anti-typology of the Passover of the Exodus, now all the firstborn of Israel are being killed while the Messiah is being protected by Egypt. Those protected in the Passover were in Egypt because of a divine plan to save Israel and the coming Messiah from death due to a famine. This was accomplished by causing Joseph's brothers to scheme against him and, in lieu of killing him, sold him off into slavery in Egypt. After Christ's birth, God sends Joseph and his family into Egypt to avoid the death of the Messiah, God's firstborn and only son, at the hands of a scheming Herod and Israel. Matthew 2 verse 18 then quotes Jeremiah 31 verse 15. A voice is heard in Ramah, weeping in great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and refusing to be comforted, because they are no more. Rachel, the favored wife of Jacob who became Israel when he wrestled with God, was the mother of Joseph, the savior of Israel from the famine, and Benjamin, the patriarch of one of the two tribes, Judah and Benjamin, who returned from the Babylonian captivity. Rachel died in childbirth, giving birth to Benjamin, and her tomb is likely about a mile north of Bethlehem. Her tomb is located in the area where the perfect lambs were raised for temple sacrifice. But she was not the mother of Judah, the tribe of the coming Messiah. Before she died, Rachel named her son Benoni, which means son of my sorrow, but Jacob renamed him Benjamin, which means son of my right hand, as he was Jacob's favorite. A surprising twist in the story in Matthew 2 is that the two tribes of Judah and Benjamin are those that are back in the land following the Babylonian captivity and have their children slaughtered at the time of Jesus. Benjamin, while buying food in Egypt with his brothers, was held hostage by Joseph, while Judah pleads with Joseph to allow Benjamin to return to Jacob and bring Jacob back to Joseph. Judah is worried that Joseph, who Judah believes is an Egyptian, might kill Benjamin. While in Matthew's account, the children of Judah and Benjamin are killed by the descendants of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. When the danger to Messiah was no more, a second exodus occurred, which is Joseph bringing Jesus back from Egypt to the promised land of Israel. Herod's tyrannical son, Archelaus, was reigning in Judea, so Joseph was, like his Old Testament counterpart, warned in a dream and kept Messiah safe by settling in Nazareth in Galilee. Nazareth, the Hebrew word from which we get the word Nazareth, means branch. This is where the Bible finds many its typologies of Messiah and faith as branches, vines, and fruit. I hope you have enjoyed another episode of Biblical Truth You Have Never Heard. As always, I hope it has been edifying and encourages you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and return for future truths you likely have never heard.